Today I'm sitting down with Jonathan Harper Hill, who's the director of Belle Coorparoo. He's been an agent for over 14 years now. He specialises in Greenslopes and Holland Park, so he's sold over 24 properties in the suburbs. His agency has several awards, so they've got Agency of the Year for Holland Park and Greenslopes for 2019 and 2018, and they also got Agency and Agent of the Year for Greenslopes in 2020. So yeah, I came to talk to Jonathan about Greenslopes and Holland Park and just touch base with him to talk to him about the last properties that he did sell. Who were the buyers? How much did the property sell for? And is he still seeing a lot of buyer activity out there? I guess to get started, I was just going to ask, what was the first property that you sold? Or what was the last property that you sold?
So the last property I sold is 41 Cedar Street, and that's in Greenslopes. We sold it to an architect.
Okay.
And he's looking to do some development on the block, and I believe he's going to be running part of his business up on the block as well.
Was that during the last sort of 2 weeks with the restrictions?
Yeah, it sold 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
When the whole lockdown was on.
Okay.
Went under contract during the Corona lockdown.
Well, so people were still buying properties through that time.
Yeah, no, we're seeing very good activity. I had 5 opens last weekend. I had 21 groups through. I've got 4 listings live at the moment.
Yep.
And I've got offers on 3 of those 4. So it is a very active market at the moment.
That's really good. You've got 3 of them under contract already.
Not under contract yet.
Oh yeah.
But I've got active buyers making offers, negotiating with.
Okay.
So in the market today, there's no shortage of buyers.
Yeah.
It is a good active market. So we've moved beyond the lockdown market, which was tough, into a much more transactional market. Okay.
And there's not a lot of stock out there. So so that's what's still driving the market. So with that property in Greenslopes, so we got an architect that brought it.
Yeah.
Who was there any other buyer that missed out on it?
Yeah, we actually had 4 offers on it. So it was very much a multiple offer.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of finding the buyer with the best terms to suit the owners and their needs.
Okay. With the other buyers that missed out, were they investors or were they families as well?
There was a lot of family interest. It was a larger block with a beautiful Queenslander. So a lot of families looking, a lot of investors looking, and a lot of developers looking to subdivide the block.
Oh, okay. So this property had like multiple sort of angles. Yeah. That would have been a good one. And then have five offers on one property. That would have been a tough one to buy. If I was a buyer's agent,
it was a sign that it's a strong market. In fact, it was sold through a buyer's agent. So it was a buyer's agent who was able to steer his buyers to secure the property successfully.
Yeah, I'm actually getting that a lot when I'm talking to agents. I guess I'm a bit biased, but do you prefer working with a buyer's agent when it comes to buying a property, or do you just?
Yeah, I mean, the advantage of working with a buyer's agent is they understand values, they understand the market, and they understand the needs of a vendor. Yeah. So it can lead to a much smoother, more successful transaction.
Okay. So what got this one over the line was more so on the terms, price obviously, but coming together.
There were attractive terms and attractive price, and the buyer performed at the right time.
Okay, that's good. Well, so that one was the one in Greenslopes, and I guess what was the second property that you sold?
So the other one in Greenslopes again was as Corona sort of struck, so the market was getting very tough then. It was a unit in Roseglen Street in Greenslopes. It was only 2 years old.
Yep.
So the owners who bought it off the plan, we managed to get that sold for the same price as that the original owners had bought it for.
Oh wow!
And it was really nice. It actually went to a local doctor.
Okay.
Bought it, who just wanted to be closer to the hospital.
Yeah.
He worked in A&E, so I was really pleased that it was a local professional and a local doctor.
And you bring up a good point there. So like, I don't know if this is right, but this is my theory. Like with Greenslopes and Holland Park, because we're located on the south side of Brisbane, and there's multiple ways to get into the city, and all the hospitals are in the south side.
Yeah.
So do you find that there's a lot of people like nurses, doctors, those sort of professionals coming into these suburbs?
There's definitely strong demand from professionals, from doctors, but also other professionals as well.
Yeah.
There is a strong buyer demand in both Greenslopes and Holland Park.
I guess. Yeah, that's good just to touch on that sort of psychology, and it's, you know, even if it does turn into sort of I think Greenslope and Holland Park are really good suburbs for investors. You know, if you've got a lot of cash and you're happy to take a bit of a lower rental yield, they're a lot safer because the buyers that are coming there are professionals, and they're always going to have a lot of cash, and there's not always going to be an oversupply in those suburbs.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have to worry too much of that price going down.
Yeah. And when I heard from a buyer who's made an offer on another home I've got on the market in Greenslopes, they're actually investors.
Okay.
And their strategy is very clearly to buy in a blue chip suburb with the risk of corona and the virus and the knock-on afterwards, because they believe the market won't be as vulnerable to a fall. And even if there is a slight shift down, it'll recover a lot faster than ones that are further out of the CBD. And that always comes down to the fact that there's not much land available too. Have you sold any land in Greenslope and Holland Park? Greenslopes and Holland Park, I've definitely sold land.
What's the price point?
Well, I sold the beautiful 1,400 square metre block of land on Otway Street. It was 2 blocks. Those actually sold for over 2 million.
Wow.
Because they had city views. I mean, they were...
How much did you say?
Over 2 million. I think it was 1,300,000 per block.
Whoa. So 2 1,200 square metre blocks?
No, 2 700 square metre blocks, making one 1,400, but they were sold as 2 separate blocks of land.
Oh, wow. For 1 million each.
Yeah, and they went for 1.35, I think it was, each.
That's crazy.
Which was a great price.
And I guess, you do, so in Greenslopes you do get some positions where you get some nice city views.
Yeah.
And that's where you can get properties that are selling for over 2 million.
That one was in Otway Street in Holland Park, in the Lions Estate. So that was a fantastic location. City views.
And that's Greenslopes and Holland Park for you as well. Like the price range can be anywhere from, sort of 500,000 all the way up to sort of 3 million. And
absolutely.
It's about knowing these micro suburbs and really understanding the suburb. Really understanding the suburbs. I know if I had a property and I needed a question answered, about the value, you'd be the first person I called. With that second property, I went off topic. That was in Percival Terrace, sold for 9.
So I also sold one recently, Percival Terrace. That was sold in the 900s. Which was a great sale. That was just before Corona struck. And then how many offers did you have? That one, we had about 80 groups through the campaign.
80 groups.
And I think written offers, there were over 10. So there was a very, very high demand for that property.
He's definitely working for your money there. Working with 10 buyers to get a solution. Okay, and kind of just to finish off, I was going to ask, if anyone wanted to get in contact with you, what would be the best way?
Email or phone, text me on my mobile, phone me on my mobile.
Okay.
I'm always available to respond.
Yep.
You can find my number on realestate.com or on the Belle website.
Okay, cool. So I'll put that in the show notes, a link to his realestate.com page. And yeah, thanks for joining us today.
Perfect.